The mystery of the Bermuda Triangle, or the Devil's Triangle, is one still believed by many people around the world. There have been plenty of books and articles written on the area and its power to make things disappear. It is important to note that none of these claims are true, however. Many of the popular theories revolve around mysterious energy and confirmation bias. An example of these was seen not too long ago. Many people believed the missing Malaysia Airlines flights to be linked to Bermuda, even though the plane went missing halfway around the world. One of the most famous cases, Flight 19, can be attributed to suppression by authorities. When planes went missing over what the pilot wrongly believed to be the Florida Keys, a search plane was sent out. This plane suffered a fuel tank explosion, but was simply reported to the public as not returned, leading the public to believe in the supernatural. This topic is not a science, as none of the arguments for it can be scientifically proven. They are simply theories. It cannot be retried and tested, as plenty of vessels make it through the location every day without harm. It is a fear-mongering technique for people to theorize and make money from by selling their ideas, books and articles to the wide public.
The Triangle of Bermuda was developed firstly by Christopher Colomb. Christopher Colomb, who had passed through the Triangle of Bermuda without knowing his way to America in 1492, encountered mysterious events here and wrote these events in his diaries. For the first time in a report of the Associated Press Agency on 16 September 1950. The Bermuda Devil's Triangle is the first time that there is a mystery in the disappearance of ships and planes in the region between the Florida coast and Bermuda. But the first convincing article that really hit the bizarre nature of the Bermuda Triangle appeared in Fate magazine in 1952 and was written by a guy who wasn't willing to use his real name. He called himself George X. He heavily referenced Flight 19's disappearance and was the first guy to actually map out the triangle. So what is the real science? Methane. Methane is actually kind of scientific. It is located in various locations under the Earth's surface are massive deposits of methane gas. When they are underwater, seismic activity causes the methane to bubble up to the surface, which changes the density of the water. So if there was enough activity underwater to release a whole bunch of methane, then bubbles could rise to the surface suddenly and drastically change the water's density, enough to sink a ship without warning.
Theory about Bermuda Triangle is about UFO and aliens. There is two approaches to this one, but they both rely upon the idea that there are aliens out there. The first UFO theory believes that the UFO crashed into the Bermuda Triangle and has set up an underwater base. When ships pass through it, they often get sucked underwater by the aliens, who want to conduct all sorts of tests. The other one is that there is a space-time gap located in the Bermuda Triangle. That is the result of the UFO activity and communication with Earth. This one lends itself a bit more to the idea the island is lost. Second theory about Bermuda Triangle is about Atlantis. Many theorists believe that the lost continent of Atlantis is actually buried in the Bermuda Triangle. According to the myth surrounding Atlantis, the inhabitants derived their energy from crystal. If Atlantis sunk into the Caribbean, that means those crazy crystals are down there too. A few scuba divers who conveniently forgot their cameras claim to have found architectural remains that look human designs on the seafloor in the triangle, which gives backing to their idea that Atlantis sunk here. So those crystals are pulling people and boats into the ocean. The other theory is about weather. The Bermuda Triangle is in the heart of hurricane country. The unpredictability of hurricanes and their heavy power makes sea travel in the region dangerous. So it is not illogical to think that weather could cause so much damage. Another theory is about magnetic field. One of the most cited occurrences in the Bermuda Triangle is that compass needles start to spin like crazy, which would imply some bizarre magnetic qualities somewhere underwater. Up until a few decades ago, The Bermuda Triangle was also claimed to be one of the few places where compasses actually point to true north, rather than magnetic north.
Valery Kuche arrived on the scene in 1975 and methodically closed the door on all such speculation. His book The Bermuda Triangle Mystery Solved carefully examined every sensational disappearance, and using his research, Kuche essentially rejected all preceding claims regarding the triangle. First off, he looked to newspapers from the time surrounding each disappearance and often found that the boats that were believed to have disappeared actually showed up at a later time at a distant port. The sensationalist writers hadn't gone the extra step to see if the disappearances might just be a long case of getting lost. Also, he finds strong exaggeration in eyewitness reports. His basic conclusion, while a disappointment to those of us who love a good unsolved mystery, is that the Bermuda Triangle is actually no more dangerous than any other area in the ocean. Boats sink everywhere, and the amount of traffic in the triangle is looked at in proportion to how often boats disappear. He concluded that boats sink at a pretty normal rate in the triangle. Since Cush's book came out, major foundations like the United States Coast Guard, the Navy, and NOAA have backed his conclusions. There is no mystery. It was all a big hype. For many years, the Bermuda Triangle confused the society. Thanks to real science, now we know the truth and we are cleared from unexplained events.